means the introduction that was done. It means the introduction. We did some introduction of public sector, and we did an overview of the economy. And yesterday we did issues concerning the. What did we do yesterday? That was did yesterday. I thought we did the Redeeming Church. We stepped down pastor.
Financial authorities.
You know what we did yesterday? We discussed mostly why did the pastor step down. And the major thing we do is called the financial authorities. And we said that when people are employed, the public sector has people that are in government. We cannot allow them to do what they wish. We need to give them guidelines in how to do things in the public sector. Especially when it comes to our finances, and based on that, we have some what we call financial authorities that we give to them to use. And we started by discussing that constitutionally as the foundation of not only government but also Nigeria itself, right? And after constitution, apart from what do I like in constituency? We highlighted the objective of the constitution. What is the major objective of our constitution of Nigeria? The economic objective, yeah. What is the economic objective? That we harness all the resources of this country to the benefit of all. We now say we also form strategy and policy to ensure that we're able to achieve this. And one of those policies is to make sure that everybody gets housing by the year 2020, and we are going there. Are we not going to promise that? No. What's that thing they say now? We're not going to permanent site. How do they say that? You are on our way to permanent site, How do they say that thing now? Two people are not. Those who go to comedy shows. No, it's like that. Okay, and so today we are moving on. We are going to now discuss the people, the officers, and the public sector. However, before we continue, let us have a view of. Yesterday we started discussing the issue concerning the financial authorities, right? Today we'll be discussing the issues about the public officers in public sector, and the people that we're talking about most, the people that have the role responsibilities in public sector. We will go further and talk of the ethics in public sector, the things that we consider morally right and all that in public sector. Then we talk of the issue of corruption. We cannot talk of public sector in Nigeria without talking of corruption. And I'm sure most of you will have a lot to say during the corruption plan because you are all corrupt. You said what? Public servants are corrupt. The president said Nigerians are corrupt. Did you hear it? Or that the president heard it? Did you hear it? Did anyone else hear that in that? Did you hear it when he was in the US and in the UK? He said it at the US. Man in Nigeria. Okay, that is perception. What is my perception? You don't look at it. Maybe it's not looking at it, people are looking at it. Maybe what if death corruption, no one will death corruption. The next if I was this is why I don't like ICANN, because and that's why the reason why you should not do ICANN. I cannot pay you because I'm a lecturer. Anan is still like his classroom, I can still pay you your passing. I'm not a waste of time. You still go to school, you just get and sit down in class and have your presentation. Okay, let me leave Anan alone. Hello, boss. Then afterwards, I'm showing you what map how we're going to go through this class as a way of giving you an overview of the things we're going to learn in public sector. And like I said in the first class, my class is basically rearranging your pack. I'm sure everybody has a pack, the ICANN pack, My class basically rearrange the pack in a way that based on my years of teaching public sector, I think and I believe it make more sense to you. In a normal public sector class, they will start with financial accounting. They will start with public accounting. In my own view, before you account for something, you must first get it. Financing is first before you now account for whatever money you get. So we talk of financing, and also finance has always been a good point of reference for ICANN in certain questions. And somehow, students don't get the issues of finance properly. And ICANN only brings usually one question in accounting. Do you understand? And it's always been the issues of reporting, IPSAS. So we're doing financing, we're doing forward issues concerning public finance, the issue of debt and how we manage debt in the public sector, and the issue of how do we allocate the money we collected jointly. Then we talk of budget and how we manage budget. Then we go to the accounting aspect, how public sector accounting is, and how do we report financial statements in public sector. Then auditing. When we talk of the issues that are the management issues in public sector, issues like procurement, issues like economic crime, and we discuss the current issues in the public sector. Current issues in public sector, there is no specific class I'm going to discuss really, because as we go along, I'll be making reference to issues that are in front burner. Last 2 diet, it was TSA that was in the front burner in the public sector, and we kept talking about it. What would it be? It was 2 days ago. They started 3 days ago. It was TSA. We started talking about it 2 days ago. They brought the question to marks. So generally, this will be our roadmap to this entire class. Now, usually there are 2 of us. A colleague of mine will be taking the accounting aspect, while me I will be taking the finance, this introduction, and all this other aspect. And like I said, one of the platforms we have, apart from the part icon, which is supposed to give you the course notes. And why do I do that? Like I said, before now, I used to send out the course notes to all the students. But as Google stopped my account and they sent me a long mail that, our IP address, Nigeria IP address, as a challenge. Every time you send mass mail on Nigeria IP address, you think you are doing Yahoo, and you are doing Yahoo, and because of that, I actually blocked my account last night. But I used to send like mails to average of 80 students every weekend. Today as if I'm doing spamming to people. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's how we're going to go. So, what are we discussing today? Who are the public officers in the public sector? Now, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be discussing about the people, the president, the council of ministers, minister of finance, the civil servant. These are political office holders. Yesterday, I broke it down to 2 parts. The political office holders and the civil servant, and I said they make up the core of public service. We'll be discussing about them. Then we'll be identifying the people that support the office, which is the budget office, CBN and Nigeria, and the oversight functions of the National Assembly and the advisory function of the National Economic Council. Yesterday, we discussed about National Economic Council. Yes. What's National Economic Council? Aside from good and new. Say yesterday.
Yeah, just the body that nice they look at the economy and calculate the way on.
What is that in a simple terms? They look at the economy, chart the way forward, but most importantly, advise the president. Do you understand? One major function, because the president is the CEO, the person that we all say the buck stops on the table. However, he started a lot of responsibility. Therefore, we took that strategically from him and gave it to who? The vice president. And that's why the chairman is who? President. Members. All the governors and the CBN governors. And I also explained why the ministers of finance, the commissioner of finance are not part of the member. He said, running a federating economy, therefore every state will come with its own proposal to how things to be done. But the reason why we are having the CBN governor as member of the executive economic council is because we want a monetary policy, one monetary policy in Nigeria. Only CBN can determine issues concerning interest rate, money supply, while issues concerning expenditure and spending can be decided at every state level. Ladies and gentlemen, let us first illustrate how private sector, how organization looks like in private sector. Then now take each role in public sector, you now situate it into where it fits in public sector. You understand? From your, I go at jobless here. People that are jobless. People that are employed. Why? Who is employed? Which one is which now? Jobless, nobody. Unemployed, nobody. What's okay? Who are underemployed here? You are underemployed. Okay. In an organization format, the head, what do you call the head of it? Is it chairman, CEO? Chairman, we are going to do it during interview. Just give me your organogram. We are doing the organogram of an organization. Chairman there. Under the chairman is what? CEO.
CEO stroke MD.
Same thing, no? MD stroke CEO. Then under the MD CEO,
Executive directors.
Executive directors. Those ones they form small block, I mean. I'll say this is executive director then. EDs. Underneath them, many people underneath them.
Like say we have non-executive directors.
No, are they underneath them? They're not underneath them.
They're not
They are directors. Where do you have the external auditor? So what?
They are independent.
I don't define them for me. Know what they are. Where do they sit? You have said this is the chairman. Chairman gives directive to me. The MDCO gives directive to all these guys, I mean. So where's the external auditors to be on the level of where NDD? Excellent. So they are up here. How about the internal auditor?
Sorry,
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
the director of all part of.
Independent.
Assuming you want.
Okay.
Yeah. So where is the internal auditor sitting? To the board. Where's the board? Did you make board?
What? MD and
Does the MD? I thought the MD and the ED make management.
yeah, the board, chairman will be there, MD will be there.
Correct.
Chairman will be there, there's not like
This is management, right?
yes.
This is management like this. This is the entire management structure. Board of director will be with the chairman. The chairman and board of director, they are together. MD is a secretary, is a member of the board, but not depending on the usual structure. If you are doing a proper structure, the EDs are not part of the board of directors. They are not. The MD goes to report his performance to the board of directors, including the chairman and the members of the board. He will have taken the feedback from his own, what would I call it, tenant.
But sir, the people that constitute the board is the non-executive director and the director and the
Like ED finance, I mean, he needs to go with the ED finance. He needs to go with the MD, wherever they are going to talk, because money matter. I mean, it's not a small matter. Where are we putting the internal auditor?
Yes.
Reporting to the is there? You agree there? You don't agree? Where should be the auditor? To be where? With the MD, with chairman. Where?
Isn't the chairman too?
What did chairman do?
You said that the chairman too.
There is board of directors. Chairman and board of directors. Now, ladies and gentlemen, in this kind of setup, the chairman and the board of directors, they give direction, they give vision about what they want, to be done, how they want the company to perform. And the MD's role is to follow whatever direction they're giving, and they are to act as check on the MD by the way the MD is reporting back to them, and they are finding out if the MD is doing what is supposed to have been done based on the laid down vision and plan that they have set out. And in some organizations also, some of the board of directors members, that's what I don't know the executive directors, they also come and head these different departments. You see them as you see a non-executive director of finance.
Risk.
Risk. What do you call it?
Risk management.
Risk management.
Another thing is for non-executive.
Sorry?
I think risk, anything is can have some non-executive directors. So when it comes to taking risk from the organization.
We are talking squarely when it comes to bank or something. No, but in the terms of the way organization usually structured, you have a non-executive director that probably, like I said, risk, but usually whenever there are things involving that they have a lot, they want to put a lot of emphasis on it. The non-executive directors usually have executive director with them, that they are the people that will give the opinion, another opinion, because before this person brings the report to the board, that non-executive director will have seen the report and reviewed it, because this is an internal review as a member of the board. Am I making sense to you? Is none of you a member of any board? No. Did you go? Were you not senior union or anything? Nobody did senior union here. Who goes to church here? Don't you join your church men fellowship or something fellowship? Nobody. So how do you do reporting? Pastor just report and carry. Because by the time they are bringing that report on that same day, I do understand what I'm saying. It is not possible to make decisions. The board will be guided by, for example, we are going to go into a contract. The non-executive director, legal, will have reviewed what the executive director has submitted through the MD and guided the the board of directors that this is what they are trying to do, and this is how it syncs with our plan, because the person that is part of the non-executive director is not doing it basically for money. Do you understand? He is either a part owner. These people are salary earners majorly, except when you want to motivate them, you give them shares. That's just motivate them when you want to knock up the agency rule so that they take decisions not because they are salary earners. You understand? You motivate them and give them shares, but usually their shares that they get is never too big, because even the governance rule that if there's a level your shares will get to as a management staff, you must transform, you must transit away from being a management staff. You must become a part owner. You must become a part owner that decisions cannot take anymore. Am I making sense, you guys? Yeah. So now, let's now put this in the context. Does this still make clear sense to you guys? Let's now put it in the context of public service. Now, listen. In public service, you have the president. Under the president, or let's say with the president, you have the political head of ministry, who we call the ministers. Together, they form the board of directors and chairman. Why? They are different from the people below. The people below, this is where you move this one and take it to a palm set. And here you have various directors in each ministry. Am I making sense to you? Now, this is a company. Imagine if you have this chairman and board of directors having different companies in this form. That means you have each of these to form a ministry, another one to form a ministry, another one to form a ministry, all reporting to the board of directors, and part of the board of directors is a minister in charge of a specific duty or the area of concentration that we have set out that this minister should be in charge. But to us, one of our most interested, the minister that we are mostly interested in is the Minister of Finance. Does that chart make sense to this chart? Any question? Before we start talking of their roles, their responsibility, I want to just have an overview of where they sit. So now, the ministers and the president are here. They come into the public service with their vision and their policy plan. What shapes their policy plan and vision is their manifesto of their political party. Do you understand? They come in with the idea, for example, what did the PDP say they're going to do when they come into power? What was their manifesto? But that was the manifesto. I didn't say what they said. What is the manifesto? I don't know say this manifesto. Did you see this manifesto? Who saw it? It's you who I know you vote. You did not vote. You did not vote. Who did not vote again? You did not vote. Because if you do not vote, you have no stake in this country. You have no right to complain. You have no reason because you are not a shareholder of this company. This company called Nigeria. Do you understand? Because we that voted, we appointed a chairman. The chairman is Muhammadu Buhari, and we've appointed some board of directors. We hold general meeting every time to tell them what they are doing right and what they are doing wrong. Your right to attend general meeting, after general meeting is your voter's card. So if you don't have a voter's card, don't talk. Whatever we do, wait for 2019. So now, like I explained, there are people we call accounting officers. We use the word accounting officers in public service to really explain the position of the permanent secretary or the head of the ministry, head of the agency. And underneath them, they are directors. Like I said, they are directors, and the permanent secretaries and the directors, they form the core of the management. And these are what we can see. This is the beginning of the civil service. Do you understand? So to answer your question, sir, how can these people corrupt these people? Can management corrupt board members in an organization, Mr. Chairman? Yes. Yeah. The private sector. Yeah. You mean you tell your chairman what you do? You see, I'm listening to you now.
When you look at it, of course, you see that when you are building
Yes.
you know, because the board, they are not part, they're not included together. The MD and the board, the management is not simple.
Yeah.
They are the ones doing the show day to day. They will devise ways of deceiving people because if you see, you work by report.
Yes.
They doctor report and keep feeding those guys, the board of directors, with junks. They have the job. They drive and corrupt the auditors, the external auditors, and these people at the top, they don't have any way of getting the exact feedback they want and working with them in their work.
So are you saying, sir?
Yes.
If I have the chance of making you a minister,
Yes.
You will give this argument when you pay.
The point is that
Answer my question. Are you saying if I make you a minister tomorrow morning, you will fail because you are going to say someone paid you?
They are contributing.
Let's isolate it.
Okay, we don't isolate it.
This one, let's take one back. If you have a clear vision and you have a plan, I don't think the management can decide for you what you're going to do. Because you have even an organogram that's such that you have this person that is for you. The external auditor is clearly only for you. Do you understand? So you appoint an external auditor, the external auditor go and connive with the MD and the management staff. Maybe it's an annual member.
Then what happens to those companies that end up liquidating
There's no between. See, my brother, what are you certifying as an external auditor? You are certifying that the financial statement shows a fair view. Once it's true and it's fair, that's what you are certifying. Let me give you an instance. If there's a fraud and you go to audit this company, and in your entry meeting, the MD and the ED finance tells you that you have a fraud of 15 billion from the entry meeting. When you look at the record, you found out that yes, there was a fraud. Can you classify that report? Can you say it does not show a true appraisal?
but professionally,
Wait now, let's get it correct. Can you classify that report?
Then, if they are also, okay, if they told you what,
We are doing case study here.
you know, it's something that I'm saying something, it's also something that I've also disclosed it to the appropriate team, let's say to the shareholders in that same report, that I said that this thing that
It's not better to share with them.
okay, no, yeah.
It is after the external auditor has certified the report, they have to give it to the shareholders. The MD, the internal ED finance, have prepared the financial statements. For this financial statement, to move beyond them, because they have done internal audit on it, to move it for the board to say this is okay, and let's show it our other shareholders. This person needs to come and do due diligence on it. Now, in the financial statement, MD reported a fraud of 15 billion. And when you were doing entry meeting with the MD, they told you that last year, to the 31st December 2016, we found out that one of our staff, the man from Imo State, defrauded us to the tune of 15 billion. The matter is reported to police, is being investigated. In fact, right now, the lady and the man that defrauded us will pursue their case. They are in Kirikiri under EFCC, and the church they pay their tithe to recover the head of the work to the church. It's in the report. Can you classify that report?
Stating in your report, sir, except for that very incident. No. It has been stated.
What? When?
Sir, for not classifying that statement, for classifying that statement, it means you are, that at the end of the report, you say it's showing true and clearly. The true and clearly that is showing is that you are stating it in your report that so fraud has been taking place in a particular. If you are certifying that particular aspect of that report, it means that your statement of showing true and clear view is not genuine in that particular report.
I think we are going to part of what I do in public sector classes, approach the case study. Now, if you are approaching a case study, if you are giving this case study, it's concerning the president. Now, the president is the head. Like I explained to you guys, at the top of it is our chief of state, the person that when you think about him, you think of Nigeria. So today, the president, commander-in-chief is Muhammadu Buhari. He's also our chief executive. He's our chairman, chief executive. Is the person that is in charge of everything. Right? And likely, if you remember the first class, I showed you how we divide the arms of government into three, the executive, legislature, and the judiciary. And he is the head of the executive arm. He's also the head chief administrator. Everything that we need to do is the leader of the executive arm. And in Nigeria, coincidentally, anybody that is the president is also the leader of his party. I mean, he's also the leader of the party, so he's even the leader of APC in Nigeria. He's our chief diplomat. In terms of relationship with other countries, the starting point of discussion is usually with the president and our commander-in-chief of our armed forces. I mean, is the person in charge. You cannot have two. I think that's what they did to Gambia president. You watch the Gambia president leaving Gambia. They declared another person president, chief of the armed forces, and that person gave command. Do you understand? The Wallo guy gave command from Senegal that the army should return to the barrack. And they had no option but to return because that other guy's tenure expired that 19th. And based on that, he had to. Nobody called them, they told me that they can't do anything until we leave, and they have to leave. The president is also the chief legislator. Now, let me explain this. Bills that you have in National Assembly, there are two forms of bills in National Assembly. There are bills that are presented by the executive, call them executive bills, and there are bills that are presented by each, maybe a senator. Or somebody presented it to a senator or a rep member. You understand? And the senator will sponsor the bill. One of those main bills that we present from the executive is Appropriation Act. It's a bill, to spend money. And the president is the person that usually presents it. And the president is also the chief citizen in Nigeria. And when we're going to count and say who's the number one citizen in Nigeria, it's always the president and commander-in-chief. And the number 2 is number 2. Number 3 is number 4. And number 5. Justice. And that's I don't think it's movement to justice, Papa. Okay? Now, the president runs with some people that we call the Council of Ministers. What we can also be called the Federal Executive Council. Now, the Federal Executive Council is formed of these two, the president and the ministers that he appointed. And the whole essence of Federal Executive to give the general direction of domestic and foreign policies of government. What are we doing? What do we intend to do? And it serves as a coordinating point of activities of the president, vice president, the ministers of the government of federation in discharging their executive responsibility. It's also the forum where they advise the president on what to do. For example, economic policies that we need to initiate and what we don't need to do in Nigeria. So, Federal Executive Council, it is the highest decision-making body in Nigeria. It determines the affair of the country, but we are more interested in our ED finance. Our ED finance, or in this case, the Minister of Finance, is the person we are interested in. And the Minister of Finance, he has been delegated to assign all the responsibility of financial business of government of federation. In the financial regulation, that everything concerning the business, financial business of government is by default with the president, the Minister of Finance. In fact, that's where the regulation went to say no payment shall be made except of the authority but warrant duly issued and signed by the Minister of Finance. The Minister of Finance must know how money is expended by anybody in the Federation of Nigeria. This organograph I'm explaining to you is also replicated in the state. I mean, in the state, you have the governor and you have his commissioners, forming the executive excellence. And based on that, they have the commission of finance, which is very important to us. And now, what are the key responsibilities of the Minister of Finance? One of the major ones, although this one now is shaky, although this is how it is stated in financial regulation, the Minister of Finance was hitherto now in charge of preparing annual estimate of revenue and expenditure, essentially the budget. I mean, the money we are going to bring in and how we are going to expend it. However, this dispensation that has changed. I mean, we now have, because those days we should have the budget office under the Ministry of Finance, but we have removed the budget office from Ministry of Finance. Now is with Ministry of National Planning Commission, Ministry of National Budget and Planning. Are you getting this? And that's who is the Minister of National Planning? Dodoma that said, what did you say about planning budget? And the minister is also in charge of formulating policy, especially the fiscal policy and monetary policy matters of Nigeria. Now, the fiscal policy matters can be formed by the minister directly, but the monetary matters are formed by the CBN governor with the approval of the Minister of Finance, because by nomenclature and organogram, the CBN governor is actually one of the parastatals under the Ministry of Finance, report to the Ministry of Finance. And the Minister of Finance also is in charge of mobilizing domestic and external financial resources through internal and external financial resources for developmental purposes. So if it need be, and we need to borrow money, the Minister of Finance is in charge of all this. It's also in charge of maintaining balance of our balance of payment. What's our balance of payment? What's the balance of payment? And now, why? Balance of payment. What payment is no balance? Yeah? Mark? The import and export, whenever we trading and the trading is not balanced, because when we send money abroad and abroad send money to us, how do we balance it out? If you are sending too much of money outside, just in the literal sense, and you are not collecting enough money, that means you don't have a balance of trade. And once you have a balance of trade, it will also affect your balance of. Am I making sense to you? Does it make sense to you now? The effect of balance of trade is balance of payments. Do you understand? If me and you don't trade, there will not be imbalance in our payments. We need to first trade. I'll buy from you, you buy from me. Now, if I buy something of 10 naira from you, you buy something of 200 naira from me. That means you owe me more money, Do you understand? That means the thing is not balanced. However, if I buy 20, you buy 19. It's almost, this situation which is almost impossible that you buy 20, which is an ideal situation which is impossible. But when you try to go towards the ideal situation, you usually don't get it. Nigeria has a balance of trade that is negative. We live in the economic class. How many people are in the economic class? Oil and non-oil resources. The Minister of Finance is also in charge of supervising the insurance industry. it's very important that insurance industry is big, Abi, because if insurance industry is big, people can take risk in doing business, knowing that when if they lose money, they can be restored back to the states. And it's also in charge of relating to international organizations, financial organizations, such as World Bank, International Monetary Fund. We're going to study all these agencies when we talk of issues concerning budget and debt in Nigeria. Now, but generally, political office holders, the ministers, also have responsibility, which is clearly stated. Now, number one is that, one of the major ones, I don't say number one, is that any directive they are giving to accounting officers, and I said that the accounting officer is the founder, Abi, and the directors, Abi, that have the financial application must be written. Do you understand? Because this idea of I did not know what I gave to civil servants, I don't know what they did. The second one is that they are in charge. They must also never contravene the regulation, and they have the responsibility of endorsing the budget of their respective ministries and agencies. How many of you followed the last budget? How many of you followed it? Did you follow the budget of last year? What have been budget screening of 2016? You know, Nigeria, when ministers are going to National Assembly and disowning their budget, I mean, they say I've never seen this budget before. I've never seen this budget. So someone asked the question, how did the budget get there? In fact, there's a point we have two budgets in Nigeria. We have different versions of the budget. There was a budget that was in the National Assembly, another budget they said that was when they were presented, and now that was with the guy that was the licensing officer. You didn't know which was the real budget. And at the end of the day, when they said the budget was padded, people were now saying, who padded the budget? And the president said that they had been in public service for how many years of the year? And they were padded before. Until now, that he doesn't know what they mean by the budget being padded. Part of the duties of an accounting officer, as I said, the accounting officer and the MCCO, part of the duties of an accountant CEO, the accounting officer, is to ensure that the budgetary and accounting system is established and maintained. You can see that it accommodates part of the duties of an MGRE, that to ensure that everything is done in a transparent and accountability manner, ensure that management control tools are put in place to minimize waste and prevent fraud, and to render monthly and other accounting returns and transfer to accountant general. Now, the accountant general is supposed, if we have this MDCO in pockets, like let's say 10 of them, do you understand? If this chairman has 10 of these people underneath money, for him to have a consolidated financial statement, somebody will be in charge of it. So what accountant general does is to prepare what we call a consolidated financial statement of all the units under the federal ministry. Ensure safety and proper maintenance of all government assets. Usually you are paying personally in front of public account committee. We are going to discuss about public account committee when we get to issue of budget. For essentially, whenever there is need for, when there are questions being raised, there is an arm of National Assembly called the Public Account Committee, a committee in the National Assembly, both in the Rep and the Senate, called the Public Account Committee, that usually asks that question about how money has been expended, can you come and justify it? And usually, the head of that Public Account Committee is usually an opposition party member. Not usually, normally must be an opposition party member. So, for example, during the PDP, we had ACN member as the head of Public Account Committee. The man was from Canada. I don't know who is now. Probably is the PDP person that is there now. So, the other idea is that if the ruling party has spent money at it, the opposition will now review how they spend money, and the idea is that for him to point all, do you understand, into it, because he reviews all the accounts of all the ministries and agencies. The BAMSEC also is in charge of the tender board. Tender board is the board that sits over how procurement matters are done. It also integrates procurement expenditure to the yearly budget and renders annual returns of procurement to group of public procurement. It also ensures that there is compliance with provisions of Procurement Act. Now, the reason that you see that the specific mention of procurement is that we found out that in public service, one of the ways public sector loses most money is through procurement. Over invoicing of contracts, over invoicing of supplies is one of the major ways monies are lost to the public sector. Therefore, even the government put a lot of emphasis on procurement and compliance with Procurement Act everywhere. Now, under the directors, we have different directors. However, the director we are more interested in is the director of finance. And the director of finance, the duties is to ensure that there is always compliance to regulation and accounting code, to advise accounting officers on all financial matters, just like the way the Minister of Finance should advise the President on all financial matters. Prepare a proper accounting record, ensure prompt rendition of all returns. Comply. It should be in charge of compiling and defending of budget proposals, ensure effective control by matching compared budgeted figures and the actual figures. What do we call that in management accounting? When you are comparing actual with budgeted, variance analysis. To do variance analysis to ensure that things are doing the way we are planning to do. Now we have a like I said, one of the major jobs of Academia is to do consolidation of all the financial statements, that because each of the ministry will have director of finance and each director will prepare his own financial statement, and this chairman cannot be seen independently. All the account of each ministry and agency, the job of Academia is to bring together all the accounts in all the ministries into a consolidated fashion. Have you started consolidation in financial reporting? We started financial reporting back. Okay. It's a good thing to learn. Consolidation is just adding 1 plus 1, all the other ones, and new minority interest. What is the meeting? Is that not what it is? Okay. You should serve as the chief accounting officer for all money received, because you make sure that all money are properly received and all money are expended. Provide all the accounts, collate and publish and prepare and publish statutory financial statement of federal government. Maintain the federation account, consider revenue fund, development fund, contingency fund, another fund, and provide cash backing for operation. Now, when did we say that we got the right, the power to create a consolidated revenue fund from? The Constitution. The Constitution gave us the power to create the consolidated revenue fund. Now, I don't know if you follow one time or the kind of argument for Accountant General for the Federation and Accountant General of the Federation. Did you guys follow the argument? Yes. Of the Federation. Remember that? Did you follow that argument? What was the argument that time? Anybody?
Argument is that if you have a control of the profession, it will be independent of a general of the federal government. Because as a general of the federal government, acting as also as a there will be conflict of interest. The person that be more. One, the president is supervising you, so you are directly, he's directly coming for you. So you may not be objective in your actions, because your actions also influence deciding for states. So you can just be taking decisions that will favor federal government alone.
I think you summed it up. That was the argument then, and that's still the argument till today. That this consolidated revenue fund is supposed to be shared, by the federal government and states. Why is it that your staff should be the person that is keeping the record? Why is it not our staff, somebody that all of us will appoint that will keep the record? Because if your staff is keeping the record, your staff will bias towards you, and your staff will hold it down to the tune that you are playing. And that's what was let's have two accountant general. One accountant general to keep the money of to keep the consolidated revenue fund, so that he knows all the money that is coming in and keep the proper record, and also decide and tell everybody how I'm going to share the money. Once the money is now shared, federal government will now take his own and give it his own accountant, manage my own, tell me how my money has spent. And you know what you like to say that when you take a piece of meat, and you divide it with your teeth. Nobody knows which one is bigger. Maybe you are beating the one that is bigger and swallowing it. So that's the same concept that there's no transparency. You better just take. You don't know which one we are. So they said let's be transparent. But the other argument is that we keep arguing that bureaucracy is becoming larger. If we want to start that office again, we will employ new staff. Where will we get money to pay them? The states, I don't think they agree, because at the point when they were moving that, what I just said, okay, fine. Let us be using 1% of the money from this consolidated revenue fund to settle this. No, Baba. Everyone said, Baba, let me keep the record now. What are you afraid of? And later on the matter died. But the matter is always coming up every time. Let's quickly do this as a quick case study. President Muhammadu Buhari has approved the appointment of Ahmed Idris as new Accountant General for the Federation, a statement said. The statement on Thursday, signed by Haruna Imran and the Director of Communication, Office of Head of Civil Service of Federation, said that Ahmed the Head of Civil Service of the Federation, Barrister Dana Pastor, who announced the appointment, said that the appointment is with effect of 25th June 2015. Statement said, it said the new AGM who hails from Kano State was born November 25, 1960 and was on his appointment Director of Finance and Accounts, Federal Minister of Mines and Social Development. The position of AGF became vacant after the former Accountant General, Jonah Otunga, resigned on June 12. The Office of Head of Service later conducted examination for prospective candidates for the position. All directors of finance and account and some other departments from all the ministry, numbering over 60, attended the offer examination. A source at the head of service told Union Times that about 20 individuals were eventually dropped after the first sitting. And this arrangement explain the procedure for appointment of Accountant General. Explain the procedure for appointment of Accountant General. Can you explain? Can somebody explain to us how do you appoint Accountant General?
The president to be submitted
To the National
to the National Assembly for approval.
Sorry?
An appointment process.
First of all, when there is a vacancy or the vacancy will exist, it could be advertised or people can just apply, and it was done from this people apply. So, and the Office of the Head of Civil Service of Federation will conduct interviews from to determine the eligible applicants. So, based on those, the interviews, then we will need to determine who might become appointed.
Any contrary opinion?
So, Senate has no.
I think after the head of civil service has recommended certain set of rules for the president. I think what the president will do finally is to submit it to the National Assembly to approve the appointment of that particular person.
You think? You're sure?
I'm sure.
Anybody? Go. Now, can you approach this case study based on your true opinions? You are approaching this case study. How do you approach the case study? Based on information provided to you. There's always there's an outline to following case studies. There's an outline. I mean, basic law, business law, not law, business law. How do you approach cases in law? That's it. No, it's not decided. There's an approach of how you, and somebody help us if you are approaching the case study. You know why I'm emphasizing this at this level? Case studies are on. One of the why students is that most people have a fundamental approach to how to approach the case study. How do you approach the case study? They told you this is a case study, and they said he wants to explain according to how and general.
I think I was trying to explain who an accountant is.
Accountant general.
An general is what is required of that person to be qualified to be appointed as an accountant general. Whom can appoint that particular person. Then finally, then I will state.
They are not asking you for this, they are asking for the procedure. So telling us that one, they wasted time. You don't need all that support information. The definition of academia, you don't need all that information.
How about you follow the timeline?
Follow the timeline.
Like somebody resigned first, then exam was conducted. That's the procedure. If the procedure, somebody resigned, that's how the position came with account. Then the exam was conducted, people were brought.
That is part of selection process.
Yeah.
What is the normal process of selecting an employee?
Interest rate.
First, we started with that, declare just like what you said, the place will be declared vacant, advert will be made, application will be submitted, screening will be conducted, then you get it. Now, whenever you have a case study, the starting point is the ideal. What should be the ideal based on what you know in your theory? Are you getting it? What this question is simply, this question can be in your MD, can be in your, just telling you, give us the processes of engaging employees. Are you getting it? Because they do not state that. So that's essentially what that's it. In going through a case study, state first the ideal. If, for example, they ask you, whatever theory can I use to explain? 5 quarter process. Who have 5 quarter process? Are you starting there? You are finding it out from there. 5 quarter process. What are the 5 quarter process? Yes. Sorry?
Library of close substitute.
Huh?
Library of close substitute.
Yes. That's true.
Barrier to
Entry and
entry
exit.
and exit.
Listen, if you're writing a business plan, that is what somebody brings a business plan, that's what you're going to do. That's all. If somebody brings a business plan, they want to do a business, accountant help me. That's exactly what you just take and form paragraphs and collect the money, maybe it's 100,000. Smile at the whole thing. Assignment. Assignment. let's do parallel theory again. You mention one so that I don't mention it. I say you don't do it again. Which theory that you are familiar? Which theory are you familiar with? Which theory are you familiar with? Maybe in governance. Are you familiar with the payee law? What is the payee? What is the payee law? That everybody working, I mean, must pay at the end based on the calculation. I mean, that's an idea. I mean. For example, if they don't do a case that relates to that, what is it for states? Once that, that's why people say the address you can identify the case study, it is the theory behind it. Do you understand? State the theory. In this case, you can start by saying this relates to employment. Since they told you at Canada, you can just surface with this to employment or Canada, and you name the step for employment. Vacancies will be declared. You understand? Followed by that, what's next? After vacancy be declared, application will be invited by prospective candidates, and they will first be screened. After screening, the successful ones based on criteria will be shortlisted. After shortlisting, what else? We invite them for interview. From the interview, you can go on and say there will be oral and all that. From the final one, the most successful will be awarded letter. That's the ideal. The second one states the issues in the case. So now you're comparing it to, in the case, just like you mentioned, you now go through the timeline. You are considering this one happened, this one happened. Now you compare ideal and the information given. Are you getting it? They advertised. Now reference when the advertisement was done. They conducted interview. Like that. How many sense, you guys? That is how we are going to do. I only touch on this one as an illustration. Again, to make you understand, in this level, case studies are normal. I'm not making sense to you guys. Case studies are normal. So the way you approach it must start devising ways around it now. Nobody is going to tell you, for example, if you were in foundation, they will tell you, give us the steps of employing, engaging an employer. They will tell you what are the steps of engaging an employee. And you start mentioning them. Are you getting it? But at this level, we won't do that. Yes.
But before one can attempt a case study, you must have known what is required and what are the
Yes, ma'am. You say, yes, ma'am. You must have known that normally they will not give you a case study that's not part of whatever you have learned. For example, if they give a case study concerning consolidated revenue fund, they will give you something around it, and you need to know, for example, how do we start the consolidated revenue fund? It is through the construction habit, and how it's managed and all that. Then from there, you determine what has gone wrong concerning it. Now, what are the duties of National Assembly? Essentially, the National Assembly is supposed to do three major things. One, that will represent us as individuals, and I'm sure everybody here has at least 5 people representing him, Mami. You agree? Huh? Yes. 5 people representing you. You have a councillor, you have a state assembly member, you have a house of rep member, you have a senator, you have a council, what unit and what local government chairman, the ward council and what you call that one. So you have at least 5 people. And National Assembly is also to be in charge of appropriation. The major function is appropriation, because appropriation is how we decided how money will be spent. The third function is oversight. They go and review how money that has been given to the executive is being expended. But usually National Assembly does not do these things directly. National Assembly acts like the external auditor. Do you understand? to the chairman. However, how can that be away? Between the external auditor and the chairman in the private sector, there is somebody, there's a set of people in there. We call them audit committee. Am I right? There's an audit committee. The audit committee usually takes the report of the external auditor, review it, then ask the chairman and they can ask the MGs, to come and defend whatever because it's possible for the external auditor to write what is not existing. And if the external auditor writes what is not existing, the chairman, the MD CEOs are not given the right to defend themselves, that can cause problem, is it not? Therefore, usually, whenever the external auditor submits reports, submits to the audit committee, and the audit committee verify, review before they now decide and tell the chairman. So the National Assembly is like our audit committee. The Auditor General for the Federation submits a report to them, they review it, and based on their review, they can invite any of the accounting officers to come and give explanation. So we have the Auditor General for the Federation. Auditor General for the Federation. When the job of an auditor, the job of an auditor, that when the accountants are prepared to report, maybe through the ED finance, sometimes there should be a true and fair view. There is need for someone to give an opinion on it, and that is the job of all this talk. The Auditor General of the Federation reviews the financial statements that have been prepared by Accountant General to ensure that this financial statement shows a true and fair view. Now, the major duties of Auditor General is to do four things. One, in public sector, one is to do financial audits to ensure that accounts are maintained satisfactory as we have said they should be maintained. Two, that funds are appropriated and funds that are appropriated are spent as the way it should be spent. Three, that rules and regulations are complied with. And that four, value for money at every time is ensured. So, in public service, it's not only for you to achieve the objective. The means of you achieving the objective must also be based on rules and regulations. Do you understand? In public service, people in the private sector come and tell you that as far as this projector is bought, you understand that in their own office, they don't call meeting. You understand? When a projector is bought, they don't buy a projector. As far as people can see the projector, it's done. In public sector, you must call meeting. It's not your money, it's everybody's money. You must follow the process. In fact, you may have done a good thing, but you not follow the process, and they will tell you everything you did was wrong. And value for money is that whatever we are spending in public sector, it should be such that everybody must get the 3 E's: economy, efficiency, and effectiveness. What's effectiveness? What's efficiency? What's effectiveness and efficiency?
Well done. For efficiency as time.
Done right. Timing. There's no waste of time. It's quickly done. All that. Now, what are the powers? General powers of audit. Section 85 of the Constitution clearly states there shall be an Auditor General of the Federation who shall be appointed in accordance with the provision of Section 86 of this Constitution. The public account of the Federation and all offices and courts of the Federation shall be audited and reported on
So the Auditor General who shall submit to the report to the National Assembly, and for that purpose, the Auditor General or any person authorized by him in that year shall have access to all books, records, returns, and other documents relating to this account. This, I'm reading verbatim what the Constitution says concerning the power of the Auditor General. Nobody can stop Auditor General from auditing any financial statement. Nobody has a right. If you remember, like 2-3 years ago, they wanted to audit NNPC, and NNPC was giving reasons why the General cannot come and audit Tabi. I don't know if you guys follow that Tabi. This is what that means that you don't have the right. Anybody that collects allocation, government revenue, you are in charge of government funding, but the General has the right to audit you. However, nothing in the section 2 of the section shall be construed as authorizing Auditor General to audit account or appoint auditor for government statutory corporation, commission, authorities, agency, including all persons, bodies established by an act of national assembly. Now, even though we have public service, there are statutory corporations in public service. I mean, statutory corporations are corporations that not only the government money is in, other people's money is in. I mean, are you getting it? Therefore, the Auditor cannot just appoint them auditor, but they should appoint, they should engage as an auditor, but not for the Auditor. What the Auditor can do is one, provide such body with a list of auditors qualified to be appointed by them as external auditor, from which the body shall appoint the external auditor and give the guidance to the level of fees to be paid to external auditor and comment on their annual account and auditor's report thereon. I hope I'm making sense to you guys. The first one, the auditor shall conduct checks, not audits. Checks, there's no between audit and checks, on all government statutory corporation, authority, agency, including all person and body established to act by act of the National Assembly. Any question? I say things like this, I do this like this. If I say any question, no question. Whether you guys are hot or nobody understands what I said. Which is which now? Everybody understand what I said? I explain again. No, it's okay. It's self-explanatory. Okay, let's go on. What is the power of Auditor General? Auditor General has the power that within 90 days of receipt of academic financial statement, submit his report under this section to each National Assembly and shall cause that report to be considered the House Committee responsible for public account. Now, let's go on. They said 90 days. How many days? 90 days is 1 quarter. Let me now explain to you guys how it should be. Now, 31st of December is the close of year, and we said that our Catalonia will prepare a report 90 days between these days. That means that Catalonia is one of the ready before 31st of March following year, and 90 days from this date is what? 30th of June, That means Auditor General must also have done his report by the 30th of June. Why is this date? Why are they so important? Because really in the administration, our budgetary process, budgetary starts in July, 1st of July. 1st of July. And ideally, by the 1st of September, the budget appropriation was announced. That is the way the thing should work normally. Because the starting point of the budget is the account of last year. If there is no account of last year, there is no basis of budget for this year. How many sense you guys? So every time in Nigeria, you finish a budget without the financial statement, it's still a waste of time. How many sense you guys? It's still a waste of time. Meaning that there is no control. We all talk of budget, but implementation, how do we determine implementation? This person will submit report of why the money was spent.
this person must agree, and they must have also taken this to National Assembly, so that when National Assembly is getting the budget in September, I mean, they will have done the due diligence on it to be sure that the budget reflects what we have done last year. That's why you keep buying computer every time you follow. Well, one of the major reasons why there's a problem in our economy is there's no proper linkage between our budgeting and our expenditure. There's a divorce, clear divorce. The only budget is spent. Once we are spending, there is no kind of control over it. That's what the people should be asking for, not just saying budget. Now, how do we appoint Academia now? Please note that, like I said, like we were saying that Academia is the staff of the president. The appointment of it does not go anywhere to National Assembly. Note that, please. Does not go anywhere to National Assembly, because Academia is appointed just like the way any civil servant will be appointed, following the normal process of appointments that we do in service. You understand? But the Auditor case is different. For an Auditor to be appointed, the president will, on the recommendation of Federal Civil Service Commission, subject to the confirmation of the Senate. You understand? They will conduct interview, like you said, but after that interview, the Federal Civil Service Commission will forward the president must forward it to the Senate. And the power to appoint that person shall vest on the president, except with the sanction of resolution of the Senate. No person shall act in the office of the General for a period exceeding 6 months. And if you notice, we had that issue recently in the General's office that somebody was acted, the woman acted for 6 months, released for 6 months, the woman put another woman, and they just went through the process of appointing the new Auditor General recently now. They followed the same process, they conducted an examination. Having conducted the examination, the matter came for debate when the Senate resumed sitting, and they invited him for information, and they asked the question, and it was confirmed. Now, to remove Auditor General, Section 87 provide a person holding the office of Auditor General Corporation shall be removed from office by the president, acting on an address supported by a two-thirds majority of the Senate, praying that he be so removed for inability to discharge his function of office, whether arising from infirmity of mind, body, or any other cause, or for misconduct. What this simply states is that for the president to appoint an Auditor General, it does not need to go to National Assembly, it does not need to go to Senate. Please also note the Senate, go the House of Rep and Senate. I mean, we're talking of Senate now. For the president to appoint Auditor General, it does not need to go to the National Senate to address them. You can send a letter and also send the Auditor General to go and attend the confirmation meeting, and based on that, the Auditor General can confirm. However, to remove Auditor General, the president must go to National Assembly, address the National Assembly, address the Senate, seeking their approval to remove the Auditor General. Are you getting this? He doesn't have to go. But to remove, he has to go, not only go there, he must go and state it. Now, having stated that, they will not take it to voting. You understand? Only two-thirds majority over and that will be in support of him can remove Auditor General. You don't have to talk what? You don't have to talk simple majority. How many senators we have? 63. 109. 63 is two-thirds. Simple majority is, for example, if you divide it into two parts, how many is that? That's say, if they say simple majority, and when they said 52 people against 50 57, in fact, that was too high. Let's say 55 against 54. Are you getting it? Simple majority. That's what simple majority means. You understand? But to third majority, he must get senators of 63 for removing Auditor before Auditor amendments. That's very hard, I mean, because Auditor will also be given chance to even defend himself and talk. So usually we don't have any form of removal in Nigeria. We've not had any case. We are waiting for them to test it. Removing people like that in office is always very hard. We don't allow them to finish their term and go. So, just like what we have done in the national or federal, the same thing is replicated in the states. When you have the state, you have the governor, you have the ministers and all that, and you have the farm sec directors, you have the internal audit, the state assembly, the auditor for the states, you have the state economic council, the budget office of the states, and the accountant general, the accountant general of the states. The same thing we have at the local government level. The local government will have almost the same organogram of having chairmans, professors, they too are supported by treasurers and their budget office, internal audit, and the accountant general of the local government. Now, ladies and gentlemen, based on the things we have done today, your past, there's still things you can read in your past concerning all these appointees. They are all in your back. Any question? Any question? No questions. Yes, sir.
Country appointing
excellent question. We don't expect you to put any question. Understand? We don't expect you to put this question. I see that kind of people tell me when we are doing law that will I make more mark? No, there's nothing like that because there's a rule of thumb that we used to use in professional exam. I don't mark. I used to mark but it doesn't pay. I don't like my mark for 1, 2 diets. I saw how it goes. There's a rule of thumb. Anything you can have access to when you are in field, you understand? We don't expect you to cram it. You understand? If you want to write a letter and you want to put that section, you can easily access it in your practice library. So we don't expect you, but what we want to see for you to display clear knowledge. You understand? That you can, if you want to be clinical that the constitution says, but you don't need to say the section, the verse, the subsection of it. No, the constitution says that this is how it should be. In fact, you don't even need to put the constitution verbatim. I see papers of who put it. Not that you know it's not good though. It's also to show the examiner I think you will know it very well. You understand? But most times, usually it will not come. The question will not come directly like that. The question will be part of the question which you need to display a lot of having clearly understood what you are doing. So nobody will expect you to post the section and subsections. Any other question? When what? Yes.
That's why you have the president who's to them. That's the president who wants
Can't remember that. Let's just say the law is that the 2/3 president will have 63 people. So I think any sensible president before bringing it forward will afford his highlights. In the National Assembly and make sure that at least 70 senators will support that motion. Whenever the motion says, it's not a motion of voice vote, they don't do voice vote. They don't say, oh, those people what they are, no. Your name must vote and count. So if the president does not have this, the person continues. We saw it in India. It happened in India. The president of India wanted to remove their computer and the national service secretary. Because he felt that he was doing his job. That was the job where he was doing. The president didn't like what he was doing. Because in truth, if Auditor does his job the way it should be, definitely the president will always be. You can't, if you are doing your job as auditor, you and your guys will always have. In fact, everybody in the office will have issues with you. Not only your guys, I mean, everybody. I was head of auditor, so I know what it is. When you are auditor, people will not like you definitely. Because most people don't like being told this is the regulation. You understand? And people are telling you, some people have been here before now. Why is it my turn? Yeah? So, I'll see you